Hi YouTube, this is Bonnie from Dragon Soap. Welcome to another soaping adventure. Today we're making Arabian Spice Soap. Got my hard oils melted here. Pour them into my liquid oils. Now this is a fragrance oil that will discolor significantly. So I'm going to color some of it with titanium dioxide, or lighten it with titanium dioxide, so we have a little bit of contrast. And I have some embeds to put in the top if this doesn't get too thick too fast. It's a Arabian Spice, it's a Spice FO. So, you know, that means that it moves pretty quickly. I want to see, just for giggles and grins, 106. It has to be a little bit warmer than room temperature or the cocoa butter will congeal. Run those oils a little bit. I have some colloidal oatmeal to put in. As you can see, the colloidal oatmeal itself darkens the soap a little bit, but it's so nice to add that I have to add it. There's air in there. There it goes. And of course I want to blend it in really well so I don't have lumps of oatmeal. That's one thing in my cereal bowl, and an entirely different thing in the soap pot. Okay, now I'm going to add my whipping cream. Get in there. Come on. And I'm going to add the fragrance oil now, before the lye, to make sure it's well mixed in. Or mixed in well, whatever. If you've never smelled Arabian Spice, oh my gosh, it is so wonderful. It has notes of spices, obviously, cinnamon and cloves and cardamom too, I think. But it also has notes of orange and myrrh and vanilla. My nose can't detect those, but it's just a wonderfully complex spice fragrance. Oops. Okay, that's enough mixing. Now for the lye. I just can't tilt it in that direction and hold it for long. Sorry, it just doesn't work. Look how yellow it's getting. Ugh. This fragrance holds up really well in cold process. It is one of my all-time favorites. Okay, stay there. Now I'm going to put most of this in one of these to be dark brown. Oops. And I'm going to put some in the other one to lighten it up with titanium dioxide. Come on, handle, don't get in my way. Okay. Ugh. Okay, let's put some white in this. Titanium dioxide dispersed in glycerin. Air bubbles out. I did modify my recipe a little bit to make it, to slow down trace a little bit, because this is a spice fragrance. And I've been having trouble with it. Now I'm going to put some cinnamon in this. Oops, for speckles. I want more TD. Let's stir in the cinnamon here is not going to fragrance the soap at all. It's just going to add some speckles to it. course I want to blend it in really well so I have tiny little speckles instead of lumps or clumps or something. Okay. And I have a little bit extra, so I'm going to pour into my Christmas cottage mold. There we go. Oops. Now, let's use this to... See how brown that's turning already? Of course, I suppose the cinnamon has something to do with that, but we'll do and now I'm going to wait for it to thicken up a bit. Oh, let's get a white Christmas cottage too, shall we? What a mess I am making! Look at that. Just look at that. It's okay. I can fix it. Well, I'm excited about this. Every time I've tried to do a color drop before, my soap has gotten too thick. So I'm really anxious to see what it looked like without my soap being too thick. I could be impatient. Okay. Now it's time to take off my gloves, because I can't do stuff with my gloves on. I have tried it, and I just can't do it. You know, I could. No, I can't even do that. It's too thin even for that. But that's why I have this handy knife here. I forgot to mark along here where to put my embeds. Maybe I shouldn't do embeds. man, and I made him too. I made him looking chocolate. See what I did? Melt and pour with colored with cocoa powder. I've got the star and the flower. But, you know, I don't want to put them, sorry about that, I don't want to put them so that I'd be cutting through them. And I'm not putting glitter on this soap. This fragrance is a wonderful unisex fragrance. It appeals to men and women both. So I don't want to put glitter on it because the guys don't like glitter, most of them. Still really a little soft. I always end up with a little more over here than here. We'll let it harden a little bit longer, then we'll do that again. So yes, I have my gloves off, but I still have my goggles on. I will keep the goggles on when I wash up because when you're washing up, that's probably one of the times you're most likely to splash water with lye in it into your eyes, and that would be a very bad thing. My old chem professor in college, no, my physics professor had one eye messed up. He couldn't see out of, and he was our engineering advisor, so I knew him before I actually took his class, and so I knew him when I was taking chemistry. When I was a freshman in college, and when we did labs in chemistry, the chem professor told us just how our physics professor got that eye. And it was in college chemistry class. He took his goggles off. He'd had them on doing his experiments in the lab, and he took them off when he went to wash up. And when he was washing up, he splashed some acid into his eye. And it ruined his eye, took his sight out of that eye. I don't want that to happen to me. Okay, then I'll just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon. Oops, didn't mean to sprinkle quite that much. Oh, I love cinnamon. Well, it'll look better after it's cut. I think we're done here. I am not going to put this in the oven. It's still so soft that if I put it in the oven and it gels, I think the top will just right down. So I'm going to leave it out. It might gel anyway. It probably will. It's a spice fragrance, but hopefully by the time that happens, the top will be thick enough that it doesn't sink in. Okay, so we'll call it good, and that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye!